Guys, what's going on? I'm Flip Talking. Today we're talking about Ryuko. Stay tuned. Now, Ryuko is the latest manga published by Titan Comics. And for those of you who are just manga fans, you guys may have never even heard of Titan Comics, and that's kind of fair. They're mostly known for putting out Assassin's Creed manga and the Sherlock Holmes manga. But this manga, Ryuko, Volume 1, put out by Eldo, written and illustrated by Eldo Yoshimizu, is a two-part. This is the first part. The second part comes out in a couple weeks, so expect a full review on this series. I really like it. This is put out under the hard case crime section, and this is the first Japanese novel under the hard case crime. Some other people in that line have been Stephen King, for instance. But this tells the story of Ryuko, who's the head of a yakuza crime family. She is forced to kill her father, and she believes her mother has been dead, but she's not dead. And she's trying to find out why her mother was kidnapped, why she's been in hiding, and the story unfolds. It travels from the Middle East to China. You're dealing with terrorist organizations, but even though the story is it reminds me of like a modern retelling of Lady Snowblood almost. Speaking of which is right there. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of Lady Snowblood. I'm getting that same vibe. A lot of vengeance, a lot of sexy ladies, a lot of awesome action. And this is one of the coolest things I've read this year. And I keep saying this because I tend to only read stuff that I really care about. And this is honestly one of the coolest things I've read. But I want to show you guys some artwork because the artwork is incredible. And for those who don't know, Eldo Yoshimizu is also a sculptor, and I think that really shows in the artwork. So I'm gonna bring the book to you guys, show a couple pages. I don't want to show anything too sexual, but the book is the artwork is superb. It feels it like straddles the line between classic looking, like a lot of the kind of like Lady Snowblood. A lot of the character designs remind me of that, but also still feels very, very modern. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple art pages here. So as you can tell, the ladies are very sexy, and I love how scratchy it looks. This is a really, really cool story. It's a very simple story, and it's told, and it's told very well. But there's a lot of violence in this series. There's a lot of naked women as well. This is a very, very mature book. Now, let's get into the negatives, because I do think the story itself, the artwork itself, I think Eldo is a phenomenal mangaka, and I think, this being his first published English work is kind of a crime, because if his other work is anything like this, it's phenomenal. But I want to talk about the build of the book, because this is my biggest problem with Ryuko. Titan Comics, guys, this is a poorly made book. I don't like how the cover, the front and back cover feel. The pages are very thin. Actually, there is a section in this book, I don't want to spend too much time looking for it, but there was a section where a couple of my pages were like literally stuck together, like the printing press did not cut them all the way down. So I had to cut a couple, and there's one page where I'm afraid to cut because it's like almost ripped, and it came that way. I've heard other people who have gotten this also have that same complaint. Yeah, this is just a poorly made book, and they are charging $14.99 for this. Now, this is slightly bigger, as you can tell. This is the Ultraman Viz Signature Edition. It is slightly taller, just like a nudge taller than Viz, and I think that's a good thing, because the art really deserves to be seen that way. But the paper quality, the cover quality, I honestly keep this. I don't put this on the shelf because I feel like if I put this up against some other stuff, it's gonna damage the book. Like, it's a very fragile feeling book. So I do have it on my desk by itself, away from almost every other manga I have. And that's sad, because I think this is a phenomenal story. I think this is amazing artwork. This is right up my alley. There's a scene where the main character is shooting double grenade launchers while topless, and I think that is one of the coolest panels of 2019. But it's behind a book that is just not that well made, and it kind of ruins the reading experience. But then again, I'm also really picky about how I read my manga. For instance, I think that I sold off my Vizbigs for Vagabond and got the singles, and it's not to be a hipster to collect out-of-print manga, because I think that's stupid. I sold it because reading the Vizbigs were really tough for me to read. In the way I read, I like to lean back in a chair, and I like to just kind of relax with my feet up, and those were very hard to read. I felt like I had to protect this book while reading it without damaging it. I couldn't open it up all the way. I was afraid the binding was going to come off. So that does suck. But it's only 2 volumes, so I'm going to give this a recommendation. This is, this is scratching an itch that is left in me from Blade of the Immortal, Lady Snowblood, and Daiwar Gelder. I've been reading a lot of Dorohedoro lately because I've been wanting to do a review for you guys for a while, and I've also been checking out No Guns Life, Way of the House Husband, and stuff like that. If you guys seen on my channel, and Kaiju Girl Carmelise, I've been going through those books. But there's been something missing in my reading experience, and I couldn't really put down what it was, and I think this is scratching that itch. It's not overly edgy where you roll your eyes and you're like, ugh. It's just edgy enough where it's cool. It's very sexy, but not like over sexualized. The violence is done in a very raw, emotional way, and I think I am very excited for Volume 2. And at the end of the year, this series is probably going to be in my top 10 favorite releases of the year, for series wise, and not for build the book or anything like that. But it's one of those rare cases where I almost don't want to recommend it because of the build quality. But go support Eldo. Again, Titan Comics, you guys are getting a pass this time, but again, this is a really good story, really great art, and I use the same verbiage and adjective all the time. It's phenomenal, it's great, it's blah blah. But this is scratching an itch that was left behind from Blade of the Immortal, and I don't know if it's the artwork or the substance of the actual manga, but I had a lot of fun reading this. I've actually read this twice. I was going to review this about a month ago, and I put it on hold, and then I reread it again tonight, and I loved it again. So guys, go check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Or have you guys picked this up? Is the build quality as bad as I'm saying it is, or am I just being crazy? Just let me know in the comments down below. And expect more content in the future. Like I said, I'm reviewing Dorohedoro. Then I'm probably going to be doing Arc. Finally, Arc is coming. I've been talking about this series for a while, where I'm going to break down my favorite series of all time, Arc by Arc, and we're going to start with Berserk. So anyways, guys, I'm Flip Otaku. Please comment, like, and subscribe. If I get to 3K subscribers by the end of the year, I will be doing a big giveaway for everybody, so please help me with that, and thank you guys all so much for the support, and I will see you guys next time.